Hello, ladies and gentlemen. It is your host with the biggest nose, JC Courtside, coming at you today on March 19th. I hope everybody's doing absolutely phenomenal. I hope your basketball team won last night. Welcome back in, everybody. I hope everyone's having a phenomenal start to their day. I got a great podcast lined up for y'all today. All right. We got some interesting NBA basketball yesterday that we do have to discuss. We got some college ball that we're going to discuss at the end of this because unfortunately for all of us, there's just not a whole lot NBA to continue to talk about. This is like these are the dog days of the NBA season, you know? So like, I'm trying my hardest just to keep it going, and I'm excited for the playoffs. And since we're all excited for the playoffs, the NBA is starting to lose a little bit of conversation points right now, but I came prepared. All right, we're going to be talking about the Lakers. We're going to be talking about the Rockets. We're going to be talking about the Nuggets. We're going to be talking about the Hawks, the Pelicans. I got some stuff prepared for y'all, all right? But before we get into any of that, podcast listeners, be sure to leave a 5-star rating and review. Yes, I'm talking about you guys in the Spotify, you guys in the Apple Podcast, and you guys in the YouTube that watch these after the fact. Drop a like, subscribe, follow, all that jazz. TikTok, be sure to drop some likes, drop a follow. Twitch, you guys know y'all got the easiest job in the whole entire world. Sit back, relax, grab a cup of coffee, an energy drink, whatever that may be, and enjoy the show. Ladies and gentlemen, we are going to start off with, honestly, my favorite game of the night because there weren't that many good games last night. We're going to be talking about the Los Angeles Lakers defeating the Houston Rockets again, 124-116, a much better game than their previous matchup just a couple days ago. And I gotta ask the question again. Monday, we started the show with the title, "Are the Lakers back?" And I said, no. And then on Tuesday, they won again. And I started with a stream asking, are the Lakers back? And I said, no. So today, I'm starting with the headline, are the Lakers back? My answer has changed a little bit. It has. And I got to be honest with everybody. I know you're all watching and you're all saying no. My answer has changed just a little bit. I'm not convinced that this team is a contender, okay? What I am convinced is that I ranked my pyramid a little bit wrong a few days ago, okay? I changed my mind. The Lakers are indeed better than the Houston Rockets. Are they a contender? Absolutely not. I know you guys thought that I was going to make some outlandish take, change my mind and say they're a contender. Oh, they're winning it all. Absolutely not. Are they better than the Houston Rockets? Yes. Yes, that's my apologies. I should not have put the Rockets above the Lakers. Lakers fans, I'm sorry. They are better than the Rockets. I just didn't expect the Houston Rockets to not be able to maneuver out of a double team for Kevin Durant. I didn't expect Marcus Smart to play such good defense on Kevin Durant with all those double teams. I didn't expect any of that. I thought in this year for Kevin Durant, I thought he's been in the NBA long enough. He knows how to maneuver double teams. He knows how to play on the ball. But unfortunately, I thought the Houston Rockets had figured out how to beat them. If you guys were watching that third quarter, I was like, yeah, man, the Lakers are choking. The Lakers are choking. The Rockets figured it out. Ime Udoka, great adjustment. I don't know if you guys noticed, but I noticed the really nerd plays. Since I'm an NBA sicko and I watch a lot of NBA, I watch more NBA than anybody in here. I'm a sicko and I recognize basketball plays because they're the same plays that we used to run in high school. They're the same plays that I used to run in my rec leagues. They're the same plays that we would all run learning the sport of basketball. I'm talking about off-ball screens and point of attack offense. Okay, you attack the weakest defender. That's what you're supposed to do. The Rockets were doing that in the third quarter. They were attacking they were attacking Laravia, Kennard, Luka over and over and over again. And then something offensively that they were also doing was they were setting off-ball screens for Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant, been in the league for a long, long time. 17th season. I think he's 37. I don't know what season. Is he? Whatever. He's been in the league for a long time, right? 19 seasons, actually, right? I think that's 19 seasons. Holy. Is Kevin Durant in his 19th season? Man, I forget how old some of these guys are. It's crazy. Anyways, they were playing him off ball. They were setting him off ball screens, thus creating open shots for Kevin Durant. And that was working. And then guess what they didn't do in the fourth quarter? They stopped doing it. They stopped. I don't know what Ime Udoka's problem is right now, but bro, you saw your team come back in the third quarter because you were running specific offensive sets, and then you stopped doing them. It doesn't make any sense. I'll talk about the Rockets in a little bit more, in a little bit later. I got to talk about this Los Angeles Lakers team, all right? Listen, they hit 15 threes to 11 threes that the Rockets hit. They got beat on the glass. They got beat on the offensive glass. They led an assist. They got beat on steals. They had 8 blocks last night. It was a block party last night, to be honest, for them. And I got to be honest with everybody watching, man. I got to be honest with everybody. The Lakers are not a contender, but they are better than the Rockets, and I think that is clear as day. I'd like to point out some couple key points, some very interesting facts about this Los Angeles Lakers team, okay? They now own the tiebreaker on all 3 teams below them. The Timberwolves, the Lakers own the tiebreaker. The Rockets, the Lakers own the tiebreaker. The Nuggets, the Lakers own the tiebreaker. So ladies and gentlemen, if you're looking at these standings right now, and I'll show it to everybody who's watching, the Lakers are technically a game and a half over the Timberwolves. Technically, that's 2 games ahead of them because they own the tiebreaker. And that's big. That's big. In fact, I'm willing to say that apart from the Nuggets, the Lakers have the easiest schedule for the remaining season. I believe the Lakers play 5 more tanking teams for the rest of the, maybe 4, I forget. Regardless, the Nuggets and Lakers have the 2 easiest schedules for the remaining of this season in that top 6 in the West. So what I'm telling you right now is, yes, the Lakers are technically 2.5 games ahead of the Nuggets. It's technically 3 games ahead of the Nuggets because they own that tiebreaker. Ladies and gentlemen, that's big. That's not a small detail. In fact, they're my favorite now to get the 3rd seed in the West. So this is getting very interesting now because, ladies and gentlemen, what Luka Doncic has done in the recent games is unbelievable. This custody battle, whatever it's done, as soon as it went public, they're playing well. Now, something I will say about the Lakers is their defense was impeccable in the first half, but there's something that people are sort of getting misconstrued in the middle of this win streak, because I believe that was win number 8 in a row for the Los Angeles Lakers. There is something that's getting a bit misconstrued in this streak. Let me explain. Hold on. That's 3, 6. That's a 7-game winning streak, not 8. My apologies. These last 2 games, they were good wins. But what I will say is there's like 3 teams in the NBA that are super easy to defend. 3 teams. Are you ready for those 3 teams? In no order, it's the Houston Rockets, the Toronto Raptors, and the Detroit Pistons. So taking this with a grain of salt, you got to look at the other wins, and they were pretty impressive. The Nuggets overtime win, beating the Bulls, the Timberwolves, that was a good win. The Knicks, that was a good win. But I still can't ignore the fact that this team right here still has a bottom 10 defense in the NBA and a bottom 15 net rating. I still can't ignore that, guys. I can't. Now, what I will say is you guys remember what I call March, right? You guys remember what I call March. What do I call it, y'all? You guys let me know, because you guys know what I call it. I'm sure everyone calls it now at this point. First of all, Stanler, thank you so much for the follow on Twitch. I appreciate you a lot, Stan. Shout out to you for leaving the TikTok and coming through to the Twitch stream. I appreciate you very, very much. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, I call March Mickey Mouse March. But what I will say is, while the Lakers are benefiting from Mickey Mouse March, I don't think that's all of it. Ladies and gentlemen, there's something very special about March basketball, okay? You start hearing names that you've never heard before drop 30 points. You start seeing specific players who are playing specifically well in March, but not any other month. You see specific teams start tanking. You see specific teams start playing well. I'm going to name some just to remind you guys. The Bulls, they always have a big March. Not this year. They're tanking. Josh Giddey, he always has an impressive March. Jalen Green of the Phoenix Suns, since he was a rookie, March is how he got his $100 million contract. He literally got his $100 million contract for having 2 consistent marches. The Lakers right now are benefiting from Mickey Mouse March. Yes, but that's not the only reason they're doing well. And you know what? I'm buying a little bit more into this because they have caught their stride at the best time possible, ladies and gentlemen. They pretty much have that 3rd seed locked up. I don't know if they'll be able to win tonight in Miami because it is on a back-to-back. They had to fly from Houston to Miami. Their flight got delayed. They're getting in Miami. They got in Miami at 5:30 in the morning. You know, it's funny. We never heard about all of these flights getting delayed and getting into a city late. I don't know why this recent excuse. Like, bro, 5 years ago, we never heard this. Oh, they got in late on that back-to-back. That's why they lost by 60. And it's like, what about the last 50 years? I have literally never heard of this being an excuse. I've never heard of that being an excuse, but apparently now it is. Like, I fall victim to this. I said when the Pistons lost to Miami that they landed there at 5 a.m. Like, that should not be an excuse, and yet we all use it as an excuse now. I don't know, man. It's funny. I'd like to give special shout-outs to Stan and Tot for leaving the TikTok stream and coming through to the Twitch stream. I appreciate you, gentlemen, very, very much. Be sure to join the Discord as well, guys. Very happy to have y'all in here. So, Los Angeles Lakers, 7-game win streak. They're trying to make it 8 tonight going into Miami. It's going to be very interesting for my big-time Miami viewer, Beezy. I'm curious as to who's going to win. They're going to be tired, but just know, if the Miami Heat beat the Los Angeles Lakers tonight, Beezy is about to be going brazy. Even though it's the second night of a back-to-back and they landed there at 5:30 in the morning, blah, 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 blah. The Lakers, I'm going to take them more serious. I will take them more serious. They've been playing really, really good basketball. I believe they play my Pistons next week. They do on Monday. I'm surprised that's not a national televised game. That's stupid. It should be interesting. It should be interesting. Honestly, if Luka's playing this well and the Pistons, you know, we'll see. I mean, they smacked them by 30 in LA, so it should be interesting. Good for the Lakers. I'm happy for Lakers fans out there. I got to talk real quick about Luka dropping 40. That last stretch of the game, I don't know if you guys paid attention. That last stretch of this game, I think Luka Doncic had some of the best basketball, like the best sequences I've ever seen Luka play. Luka did a step back 3, drilled it. Luka then proceeded to throw 2 beautiful assists to his teammates for open dunks. And then he hits the dagger on a ISO cross, tween, step back from the wing from 30 feet out. That was like the best stretch of Luka Doncic I've seen in probably since his playoff run in 24. Incredible. It's very, very nice. Their defense has stepped up, has looked much better. I never thought Marcus Smart would be so important in 2026, and yet he is. Marcus Smart is very, very important to this team right now. I would like also to shout out Mr. LeBron James, 41-year-old man, going 13 for 14, dropping 30 points. Beautiful game from LeBron. He was flying, and a couple of those dunks, bro. He had that alley-oop that he caught behind the backboard and just yammed it. And then he also had that one fast break where they got a steal, and he went and he did his classic tomahawk dunk. His only miss came in what should have been called a foul. And something that I think is very, very important in what I'm watching with the Los Angeles Lakers right now is LeBron James is playing off ball. LeBron James is basically Aaron Gordon right now for this team. And it's very fun to watch. I really like seeing LeBron embrace this role. I've been really enjoying it. As far as Austin Reeves go, he's been bad. He has been bad since before the All-Star, but he's been bad. I don't know if he's still injured. I don't know what's going on, but Austin Reeves has not been playing well. LeBron wants to be the third option, but he keeps being throttled into being the second option. I'd like to also shout out Luke Kennard, former Piston draftee. We drafted him over Donovan Mitchell. He's been great. He's been great. And I think the commentators nailed it perfect last night. I believe Mike Breen said that Luke Kennard, or it was Tim Legler, it was one of them. They said that Luke Kennard, even when he's not shooting that 3, he's a great connector. And I fully agree. There was a stretch in this game where Luke Kennard hit a 3, beautiful. And then he took Jake LaRavia off the dribble and stepped back and hit a bank shot from the mid-range. It was beautiful. Wait, what did I just get reported with from Shams? Detroit Pistons star Cade Cunningham has been diagnosed with a collapsed lung and is expected to miss an extended period of time. Oh my God. Our season's over. Our season's over. Our season's over. You guys just watched the man's heartbreak in real time. Our season's over. Wow. That is depressing. That is depressing. I guess I have to watch Karis LeVert. Oh my God. Our year is over. That's actually heartbreaking, bro. I've literally got tears in my eyes right now. Listen, y'all. I know I'm getting off topic right now, but this was the best season we've had since I've really paid attention to basketball. Yeah, this is depressing. This is our best season since 2008. I was 10 years old. Wow. Wow. I don't have words. I got to continue this podcast. This was our best season in 18 years. Wow. Karis LeVert, what can you do in 2026? Okay, so I guess we have to change the topic of discussion all of a sudden. Okay, let's talk about, I'm going to just add a new segment. Detroit Pistons have lost their superstar and Cade Cunningham, MVP candidate. He wasn't going to win MVP, but okay, what does this mean now for the Pistons? Our season's over. This really sucks. I guess we can talk about it a little bit more. There's a lot of people in the TikTok tuning in right now. Yeah, this news just broke in the middle of my show. TikTok, if you guys want to get involved in the real conversation, be sure to swing on into the Twitch stream. I see that there's over 200 of you guys in the TikTok. So if you guys are enjoying the stream, be sure to swing on into the Twitch, get connected with our community. My Twitch chat just Googled that a collapsed lung is typically 2 to 6 weeks away. In case you guys don't know, the lung is the most important organ when it comes to playing basketball. If he's going to miss an extended period of time, he's out for the remainder of the regular season, that's for sure. And something about Cade Cunningham is when he comes back from injury and he comes back from missing time, Cade Cunningham does not look good. I was just talking about this before I started the podcast. Cade Cunningham is the kind of player that shoots himself back into rhythm. And when Cade Cunningham is not playing well, he just keeps shooting. Wow, I'm genuinely about to cry. Like y'all are actually seeing my real emotions come out right now. Listen, I wasn't expecting us to win the championship this year. You guys know me. I'm the hardest critic on the Detroit Pistons. But I was expecting to win our first series in 18 years. That's all I wanted. And somebody in the TikTok said, as a Laker fan, I really enjoy this. All right. Thanks. That's that's why I don't read the TikTok chat. I'm done with y'all. If you guys want to talk to me, if you guys want to talk to my community, come to the Twitch stream. The link is in my bio. That's Jay-Z Uncut on Twitch. Yeah, that's what TikTok is like. They celebrate when players go out. So TikTok, if you guys are enjoying the stream, be sure to leave that stream and come through to the Twitch stream. The link is in my bio, Jay-Z Uncut on Twitch. Shout out to Orphans for leaving the TikTok and coming through to the Twitch. I appreciate you. I hope everybody leaves the TikTok and comes to the Twitch. So, yeah, that's how it is, man. This is unfortunately what happened. So what does this mean for the Detroit Pistons and the rest of their season? Well, it's over. I can tell you guys that Point blank period. It's over. In fact, in case you guys don't know, if he misses the remaining regular season, Cade Cunningham is not eligible for All-NBA. I'd like to repeat myself. Cade Cunningham has missed 7 games so far. The Pistons have 12 or 13 games left? 14 games left? If he misses the remaining of the season, Cade Cunningham, who has led the Detroit Pistons to their best season in 18 years, will not be eligible for All-NBA awards. So this is what's happening right now. It's a great rule. Thank you, Adam Silver. Thank you, Joe Dumars. I appreciate you guys for implementing this rule into the NBA. The Pistons have their best season in 18 years, and now their star player is not going to be eligible for awards. So he was going to be first team All-NBA, and now he's not. Thank you for this rule. Listen, I'm going to be very curious as to see how many games he misses, but it genuinely sounds like he's going to be missing the remaining of the regular season. And listen, what does that mean for the Detroit Pistons now that Cade Cunningham's out? I can be honest with everybody. I can be honest with everyone watching. This means either Dennis Jenkins or Karis LeVert is going to be starting on my Pistons team. Dennis Jenkins, former two-way guard, or Karis LeVert, who has not scored 10 points in the year 2026. That's going to be my starting point guard, Karis LeVert. Karis LeVert. I'm going to have to watch Tobias Harris be the number one option on offense in the playoffs. That's what I'm going to have to watch. Somebody in the TikTok said, bet they wish they had Jaden Ivey about now. Dude, Jaden Ivey is not Jaden Ivey anymore. He's not Jaden Ivey anymore. No, we don't wish we had Jaden Ivey. I'd like to give a couple shout outs to Orphans, Marcus, and Ice Chicken for leaving the TikTok and coming to the Twitch stream. I appreciate it very, 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 very much. Thank you guys for the follows on Twitch. I hope you guys come through to the Twitch. The link is in my bio, Jay-Z Uncut on Twitch. Be sure to join the Discord. This is not good, man. This is not good. I guess to talk more about what this means for the remaining season, well, I can tell you pretty much what it means right now. The Pistons are going to fall out of the first seed, which wouldn't be all that bad. In fact, I'm sort of happy that the Pistons will fall out of the first seed because I don't want to play the Cleveland Cavaliers in the second round. The Celtics are going to pass the Pistons, and the Knicks are 5 games out. I don't think the Pistons will be that bad without Cade. I think the Pistons will still hold on to the second seed because the Knicks are technically 6 games behind the Pistons. It says 5 games, but they're technically 6 because they own the tiebreaker on the Knicks by smacking them all season. But as far as this injury goes, yeah, I mean, listen, I never expected the Pistons would win the finals series this year. I said all I want is winning a series. That's all I want. I've been a depressed Pistons fan my entire life, and I haven't seen them win a home playoff game in 18 years. I haven't seen them win a playoff series in 18 years. So that's all I wanted. And now it doesn't seem like that's going to happen. That sucks. That really, really sucks. I appreciate everybody for leaving the TikTok and coming through to the Twitch stream. I appreciate you guys very, very much. Top Killer, BK Toxic, and Chicken, thank you guys for leaving the TikTok and coming through to the Twitch stream. I appreciate y'all a lot. Thank you. Thank you, guys. I appreciate it. Well, unfortunately, this happened, and we have to continue with the show. This is somewhat reminding me of the Chicago Bulls. What was it, 2012? Was it 2012? When Derrick Rose got injured in game 1. And they lost to the 8-seeded Philadelphia 76ers. That's what this was reminding me of. Luckily, it's not a torn ACL. But I don't know what this means for Cade. Yeah, this is reminding me of that. I'll be honest with everybody watching. If the Pistons don't have Cade Cunningham in the first round of the playoffs, I don't care who they're versing. They lose. And I hope everyone understands that. If they don't have Cade in the playoffs, they are losing in the first round. This is reminding me just like 2012 when Philadelphia beat the Chicago Bulls without D Rose. As a Pistons fan, I've watched every single game this season. I've watched every single game last season. I've watched every single game in the last 18 years. And Cade Cunningham is incredibly important to this team. He is this team. Yes, TikTok, this is real. Yes. They are a first-round exit without Cade. TikTok says it's 1 to 2 weeks. Stop crying. How long does it take for a collapsed lung to heal? I guess in the NBA it's different. Recovery timeline, most people return to normal activities within 6 to 8 weeks. And this is not a normal activity. This is NBA basketball. This is not normal activity. This is NBA basketball. So Cade will miss the entire playoffs. That's unfortunate. Cade will probably miss the entire playoffs. That's very unfortunate. That's very unfortunate. You guys got to think as well. You guys got to think as well. This is the NBA. This is NBA basketball, y'all. This is NBA basketball. This isn't some fat ass sitting on a couch playing Call of Duty. This is an NBA basketball player. I'd like to give a couple shout outs to Topher, Top Killer, and BK Toxic for leaving the TikTok and joining the Twitch stream. I appreciate y'all very, very much. TikTok, if you guys are enjoying the stream and you guys want to get active with us, be sure to join the Twitch stream. That's JZ Uncut on Twitch. The link is in my bio. Get involved with the conversation. It's a much, 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 much better viewing experience and community experience over here in the Twitch. Okay, I don't know what else to talk about. I have other segments prepared today, but I don't know how I can continue talking about other teams when my team just had a blow. This is unfortunate, man. This is unfortunate. Rock, thank you for the follow on Twitch. I appreciate it. Okay. Our season's over. That sucks. I guess let's just continue. I think as an NBA fan, this should suck for everybody. I think this should suck for everybody who enjoys the NBA, not just sits there and hate watches the NBA. I think this is going to suck for anybody who enjoys NBA basketball. This was supposed to be Cade's leap year. This was supposed to be the first time the Pistons won a playoff series in 18 years. This was supposed to be the year where the Pistons finally take the leap, and they've taken that leap all thanks to Cade Cunningham, which is just unfortunate. It's very, very, very depressing. Now I'm being asked who takes his place, and the short answer is Karis LeVert, Dennis Jenkins, and Marcus Sasser. I don't think you guys understand. Duncan Robinson is not going to have another open three for the rest of the season. I don't think you guys truly understand that. Duncan Robinson, Kevin Huerter, Javonte Green, nobody's going to have an open shot for the rest of the season. Now, if you guys want my honest opinion on who's going to be bringing the ball up the court 95% of the time, it's going to be Asar Thompson, and that should be fun. The Pistons are not going to win a first-round series without Cade, but what I can tell you is we're probably going to see JB Bickerstaff use Asar the way that the Houston Rockets use a men, that should be fun. If I'm going to leave away with anything, it's going to be that we are going to start playing Asar Thompson the way that the Houston Rockets play a men Thompson, which every time Cade Cunningham sits out, Asar Thompson has his best game of the season. So that should be fun. That should feed into the development of Asar Thompson. I'm really excited about that. I'm excited to see Asar Thompson show up now for the remaining of this season. Unfortunately, we are going to be seeing a lot of Karis LeVert, a lot of Dennis Jenkins. So I'm reading this in the Twitch chat from Killa. He said CJ McCollum has had this injury twice, missed 12 games in 2023, missed 18 games in 2021. Yeah. I would like to give special shout outs to Rock and Lay for leaving the TikTok and coming through to the Twitch stream. I appreciate you guys for sharing this news in the chat. Thank you, everybody. That means a lot. And for anybody celebrating this, like anybody coming in and saying, oh, Knicks on top, Celtics on top. I just want to let you know, especially Celtics fans, you guys just lost your franchise player, Jason Tatum, less than a year ago. Anybody that's willing to celebrate this, you're a fucking loser. Genuinely. Like, you just lost your superstar, your franchise player for a year or 9 months, whatever it may be. And anybody that celebrates injuries, you are one sad person, bro. You are one sad person. Genuinely. Yeah. So first round, Pistons, whoever they who would they verse today if the playoffs ended? Who would they verse today? They would verse the Hawks. Yeah, they'd lose. They would lose. It's unfortunate, man. It's unfortunate. They would lose. Yeah, I gotta be honest, y'all. I gotta be honest, everybody. The Pistons are Cade Cunningham. Cade Cunningham is everything to this team. Has Shams led another post about this? I'm curious as to what he said about this. Maybe he said some more news. I'm gonna add this audio into the podcast, everybody. So everybody that's listening, this is not my voice.
I have some breaking news coming out this morning out of the NBA. Who better to break this down with us than Shams Charania, who is here. Shams, what do you have for us and some major news coming out of the league?
Sources tell me that Detroit Pistons superstar Cade Cunningham has been diagnosed with a mild collapsed lung, and he's expected to miss an extended period of time. The Pistons are not quite sure exactly how long it could it be a period of weeks. Obviously, the playoffs are about a month away. There is some optimism that he's going to be back for the playoffs, but this is a situation now, an injury that he's going to be fighting, rehabbing. The Pistons, their doctors, their medical staff, they're all going to work together to get more information in the next few days as far as treatment and potential recovery here.
I mean, this is massive news for the top seed out of the East. You're talking about a player that averages just under 26 points a game. I mean, this is big.
MVP caliber player. He's having a heck of a year, man. This is bad news. Unless he comes back within a week, if this is longer than a week span of rehab, this season's pretty much over.
It's going to be at least. I mean, it's going to be at least a period of weeks.
Yeah.
So a period of weeks. If I'm doing the math, we got about a month until the postseason starts.
Yeah, if that.
If they can hang on to the top overall seed, they play the bottom seed, waiting for the play-in game to play-in tournament to go to get the other team in. But so now you're talking about a number one seed without their best player. You said it's going to be a matter of weeks. Let's say best case scenario, end of first round, early second?
That's still not enough time, man.
I think, yeah, what the Pistons are hoping in a best case scenario here is that Cade Cunningham is going to be able to come back for the playoffs, right? And whether that's a little bit into the playoffs, the start of the playoffs, you know, the thing is with this is there's just some uncertainty, right? As far as next steps, treatment, how does that look like? And I think the good news here is that it is a mild version of this, but it is something that will be keeping him out a period of weeks.
And Danny, we talk.
Okay, so that was Shams with Danny Green, and I don't know who the fuck the other guy is. Yeah, so that's what's happening, and I would like to point out for everybody watching and listening, whether it's live or after the fact, I've talked about this a lot, but Cade Cunningham, as somebody who has watched him for his entire career, when he comes back from injuries, especially this, I don't know what this will mean, but when he comes back from injuries, he is not Cade Cunningham. He shoots himself back into rhythm, and this is something that he is going to have to stop all physical activity for. And that's something I need you guys to understand. This is not like a tweaked elbow. This is not a sore knee where you can still get shots up on the side. This is something that he's going to be sitting out and not traveling with a team throughout this time. So if you guys think that you can genuinely miss a month of playing NBA basketball and just come back and be brand new, if he comes back off a wrist injury and shoots 18% from three, which he did for the 5 games following that injury, what makes you guys think that even if he'd be able to come back is that he's going to be able to come back and look like Cade Cunningham? He plays the most minutes for the Detroit Pistons. He has this, I think, second highest usage rate in the NBA. I don't see the Pistons making it out of the first round without Cade Cunningham being there. And on top of that, I really feel for Jalen Duren because he's going to have a lot on his plate from here on out. Do y'all genuinely believe that a center who doesn't have a jump shot can dominate without their lead guard setting him up for all of those spoon-fed dunks and layups and hooks? No. Against the Wizards, sure. Against the Nets, fine. But when you're up against, hell, I'll even say DeAndre Ayton, when you're up against guys like that, Jalen Duren's not going to be able to be an all-star without being next to his superstar in Cade Cunningham. The Pistons season could be over, and it's sort of insane that you guys were here to witness it live. I appreciate everybody for all the kind words and everything. You guys know how much of a Pistons fan I am. You guys know that they're my team. I ride or die for them. I've rode or died for them for the last 18 years, and to see the best season collapse like this, it's depressing, man. It's really upsetting. And you guys got to see my genuine reaction to all of this news. It sucks. So I think something exciting that I can at least leave with is that they will be playing Asar Thompson in the way that they play Amen Thompson over there in Houston. And I think you're going to see Amen Thompson develop and play very, very well, because whenever Cade Cunningham is out, Asar Thompson steps up as the primary ball handler. And I think that's going to be a lot of fun. I think he's going to be playing mostly point forward for this team, just like Amen does for the Rockets. Now, this all depends on Marcus Sasser, Ron Holland, Karis LeVert, Dennis Jenkins. That really depends on what they can do in this time without Cade Cunningham. Marcus Sasser has been shooting 40% from deep this season, but only 30% from two. Kevin Huerter's been shooting 63% from two, but only 22% from three. So you have all of these players who excel at one thing and suck at the other. And then Karis LeVert, as we all know, is I'm trying to say this as polite as I can. Karis LeVert is not good at basketball. So it's going to be very interesting to see what the Pistons can do over these next couple of weeks. Anyways, we've been talking about this for far too long. The Pistons are, unfortunately, if they're without Cade Cunningham, yes, they will be a first-round exit, and I don't get any joy in saying that. TikTok, YouTube, if you guys are enjoying today's stream, I'd love to see you guys come through to the Twitch stream, Jay-Z Uncut on Twitch. It's a much better viewing experience here. I have noticed that there's a lot of new guys joining the Twitch stream. Be sure to type in !Discord and join the Discord server as well. That's where we all talk and hang out and vibe with together as a community. So TikTok, I'd love to see more of you guys swing on into the Twitch. That's Jay-Z Uncut on Twitch. The link is in my bio. Be sure to join the Discord, guys. Again, that's !Discord in the Twitch stream. I guess let's just move on to our next topic. What I was going to talk about was Mickey Mouse March with the Pelicans and Hawks. Pelicans and Hawks and the Lakers are celebrating in Mickey Mouse March. I don't know how the hell I'm even going to continue talking with the show, but I may as well just speed through it. I don't know if I can even continue talking about this, y'all. The Atlanta Hawks right now are on an 11-game winning streak. Jonathan Kuminga hit a full court heave yesterday, and that was awesome. That was awesome. The Hawks are winning, man. They've beat one playoff team in their 11-game streak. Very, very happy to see the Hawks thrive in Mickey Mouse March, and it is working. I've been preaching that they should have traded Trae Young for a long time now, and the fact that they did and they're playing this well, it's awesome. I'm very happy to see it. But again, I will take some stake into the competition that they've been playing against. But I will say already a success. They trade Trae Young. And all of a sudden they're no longer 500. So shout out to the Atlanta Hawks for doing what they're doing. I'm very happy to see their progress and what is going on. So I'm very happy to see the Atlanta Hawks thrive right now. 11-game winning streak during Mickey Mouse March. On top of that, I got to talk about the Pelicans. These are both things that I predicted going into this season. I said that once they get DeJounte Murray and they started going in and talking about, they started talking about what they could do as a team, and they brought Joe Dumars in, they brought Troy Weaver in, they traded their first-round pick. I said the March is going to look very interesting for the New Orleans Pelicans. Very, very interesting for the New Orleans Pelicans. I said whether or not Zion Williamson and this team can get clicking and get hot, it's going to happen in March, and they are going to damn their team for another year. Listen, man, the Pelicans have won 10 out of their last 13 games, and I'd be lying to you if I said out of the last 13 games, the Pelicans have been a top 10 team in the NBA, and I'm not exaggerating when I say that. Now, does it play a little part in being a part of Mickey Mouse March? Sure, absolutely. But you can't ignore the great play from DeJounte Murray, from Sadiq Bey, from Trey Murphy as of late, and Zion Williamson for that matter. Derek Queen has been playing super, super well as well. And it's very interesting. It's very interesting to see. Unfortunately for the Pelicans, is I believe in what they're seeing, I'm thinking of one of two things. I'm thinking, first of all, what did Joe Dumars know? And second of all, Pelicans fans, I hope you guys are excited to see this young core because they're not going to make a trade. This is their core. Listen, people are talking about them trading like guys like Trey Murphy, Herb Jones, Zion, DeJounte Murray. They're not going to trade all of them, but they will trade some of them. So it's going to be very interesting. It's going to be very interesting to see what they do. It could either go really, really good or it could go really, really, really bad. So we'll see what happens. Nathan, thank you for the follow on Twitch. I appreciate it very much. And Marcus, I got to read this comment out loud because comments like this cheer me up in the midst of chaos that's happening with my basketball team. Marcus said, haven't really been in one to watch a basketball podcast, but man, this is one I like. I appreciate you very much for tuning in. Thank you. So yeah, Pelicans and Hawks are celebrating Mickey Mouse March, and it looks fun. It looks like they're having a good time. And honestly, the Pelicans look like a whole different team right now. I watched almost the entire game from last night, and watching DeJounte Murray do what he does, bro, after the injury that he had, I love to see it. I love to see it. And I will say one more thing for everybody that's coming through to the Twitch stream. If you guys watch 3 Twitch streams in a row, I will gift you a $5 subscription out of my own pocket. So be sure, again, if you guys this is your first stream, all you got to do is come to 2 more in the Twitch, and I will gift you a $5 subscription so that you no longer get ads. All right. So shout out the Hawks, shout out to the Pelicans. Let's move on real quick to the Denver Nuggets collapsing against the Memphis Grizzlies. This team is very interesting. This team is very, very interesting. And Cam Johnson has been playing well as of late, but I just can't. Like, I saw Nuggets fans coping and talking about how Aaron Gordon was missing this game, so that's why they lost. Listen, y'all. If you have Cam Johnson, Nikola Jokic, Christian Brown, Jamal Murray, Spencer Jones, and Tim Hardaway Jr., any of those guys should be enough to beat the Memphis Grizzlies. And to see them lose a game like this, I'm starting to lose the little confidence that I had with Denver. It's getting very scary at this point in time. They have not looked good. They have not played good basketball since Jokic came back. I know Aaron Gordon is important, but not having Aaron Gordon should not be what dictates you guys losing to the Memphis Grizzlies. That should not be happening. That should not be happening at all. I saw Ty Jerome hit 2 bombs from the logo. I think they rushed Jokic. I think that's a great point in the Twitch chat. I think they rushed Jokic just so they can come back for All-NBA and MVP candidacy. This game from Tim Hardaway Jr. is honestly what looks like an average Tim Hardaway Jr. 3 for 12, 2 for 11 from deep. Everybody always says, oh, Pistons sold by like letting Tim Hardaway walk, but this is Tim Hardaway Jr. He has a 20-point game 1 out of every 20 games, and that gets hyped up. But this right here is an average game from Tim Hardaway Jr. They shouldn't need Tim Hardaway Jr. off the bench to be dropping 30 points in order to win. I'm going to read this comment from Nathan in the Twitch stream. He said, I think the injury to Cade will help them learn to play better without him. Doesn't mean they'll play better without him, but I think it'll help them play better when he comes back. I think that's a great point, Nathan. Thank you for trying to make me not want to end my life. I appreciate that. That means a lot. But I do agree to an extent. I think Asar Thompson's going to see a lot of improvement in this time. Hopefully he can stay healthy as well since he just got back from injury. Yeah, Aaron Gordon is a glue guy. He's a glue guy. They should not be losing these games. And you know, I would like to give credit where credit is due to the Grizzlies, but again, this is more than a loss for the Nuggets than it is for the Memphis Grizzlies. And yeah, man, it's just not. They should not be losing games like this. Like I said, they are 2.5 games behind the Los Angeles Lakers for the 3rd seed. And now on top of that, that's technically 3 games because the Los Angeles Lakers own the tiebreaker on them. So that's what's happening. That's what's happening. I have people in the TikTok celebrating Cade's injury, and that's really, really fun. So yeah, let's get the show over with, man. I got to watch Karis LeVert for the rest of the season. Okay, guys. What was my last segment here? Did I have one more segment here? Yeah. So NBA prospects to watch in March Madness. You guys know me. I'm not a big college basketball guy. But I do watch March Madness. So as a non-basketball guy, I wanted to find some list of players that it was a consensus overview of who to watch for in March Madness. And obviously this list, again, I have not watched these guys play more than one game each. So I'm not going to sit here and lie to you and pretend that I know much about these guys. But let's talk about the guys names that you might be hearing throughout these March Madness that is beginning today. Darren Peterson, guard from Kansas. He's been averaging 20 points per game, almost 4.5 rebounds, 2 assists, and 1.5 steals, all in 28 minutes. I believe Darren Peterson, was he the one that was hurt? I feel like he might be out for March Madness. You guys can correct me if I'm wrong, but I think Darren Peterson is out, or maybe he's back and missed a lot of games. But I know health has been a concern for Darren Peterson. So hopefully he gets back and hopefully he gets healthy. Apparently he is playing. He just doesn't play sometimes. Gotcha. Thank you for the lack of stamina. Gotcha. That makes sense. Thank you, guys. Yeah, Caleb Wilson is out. That's who I was thinking of. Thank you, guys. Yeah, Caleb Wilson's out. Thank you. Thank you for reminding me. Morris Johnson Jr. from Michigan, forward, averaging 14 points, 7.5 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 block in 25 minutes. He's like one of those glue guys that you can think that can come into the NBA and be a, top 10 pick. He's been fun to watch, I will say. Darius Acuff. I have never heard of this guy, so I'm not going to pretend to know him. But he's an Arkansas guard. He was averaging 22 points, 3 rebounds, 6.5 assists. Wow, this guy's a beast. Apparently, Caleb Wilson is sidelined because of the surgery to his thumb. I guess all the attention right now is on Darius Acuff. Shout out Acuff. He's from Detroit, apparently. Shout out to Darius. Hell yeah. Next up, Thomas Howe for the Gators. How do you guys do the Gators? Do y'all do the teeth going down, or do you guys do like clapping, right? I feel like I do clapping for the Gators. Thomas Howe. I think that's how you pronounce it. 17 points, 6 rebounds, 2 assists, 1 block, 33 minutes. Apparently Howe is the guy diving on the floor, taking charges, setting screens, cutting to the rim, crashing the boards, and blocking shots. So shout out Thomas Howe. He seems like a beast. Tyler Tanner, the Vanderbilt guard, he's averaging 19 points, 3.5 rebounds, 5 assists, 2.5 steals. Damn. Tyler Tanner for Vanderbilt. He is basically averaging a 50-40-90. Sheesh. Shout out Tyler Tanner, man. And then, of course, Cam Boozer. I think I don't need to introduce you to Cam Boozer of Duke. He is my fiance's classmate. Not really. They just go to the same school. 23 points per game, 10 rebounds, averaging a double-double, 4 assists, half a block in 33 minutes. Shout out to Cam Boozer. He's an absolute beast. He's cemented as the top 3 pick, so it should be interesting. Obviously, we got AJ DeBancia, BYU forward, 25 points, damn near 7 rebounds, 4 assists, half a block. Yeah, he's a monster as well. He's got a 33.5 usage rate, which is the second among all tournament players. Wow, that's nuts. He shoots 40% from 3. Who does? Who shoots 40% from 3? Are you talking about DeBancia? Does he average 40% from 3, or are you talking about Cam Boozer? I'm very curious. Cam Boozer's averaging 40%. On how many attempts? Braden Smith is like 40 years old. Well, up next, we got Alan Graves. The name you don't know yet. Alan Graves. He's a Santa Clara forward. He's averaging 12 points, 6.5 rebounds, 2 assists, and 1 block. Hell yeah. And then, of course, we got Jeremiah Fears. Up in this Ma. We got Mikal Brown Jr. For the Louisville. Yep, 18 points, 3.5 rebounds, 5 assists, and 1.5 steals. Shout out Mikal Brown. We got Nate Ament, Tennessee forward. He's got a lot to prove apparently. Averaging 17.5 points, 6.5 rebounds, 2.5 assists. Guys, I don't know anything about college basketball, but we will be talking about a little bit as far as upsets and everything goes. Oh, Mikal Brown's out apparently. Thank you, Leak. I appreciate it. Okay, yeah, guys. So that's what I got on college ball. That's what I got. We'll talk a little bit more about March Madness as the month progresses. But in the meantime, that's all I got for y'all now. Hell yeah. Shout out to everybody, man. Shout out to everybody. I'm very, very, very excited for March Madness. Should be fun. Ooh, apparently Alabama star got arrested for felony drugs. Ooh. All right, guys. Stud of the night. There were a lot of picks to choose from last night for stud of the night. Overall, there were a lot to pick from. You know, you had you had a lot to pick from. You had Luka Doncic dropping 40. You had Sadiq Bey. You had Kawhi Leonard. You had Jalen Johnson. You had CJ McCollum. You had PJ Washington, Daniel Gafford, who had a great, efficient game. You have Jaylen Brown. But all of them, I got to give it to the oldest guy in the NBA, LeBron James. I don't think anybody's mad at me for this. LeBron, in 34 minutes of play, had 30 points, 5 rebounds, 2 assists, 1 steal, 1 block. And he shot 13 for 14, damn near perfect. He should have been 14 for 14 or 13 for 13. That was a foul. When he got hacked driving to the rim by Şengün, that was a foul. So he should have had a perfect night. It's unfortunate that the refs didn't call that for LeBron. Unk still got it. He went 2 for 2 from 3. And he went 13 for 14 from the field. So shout out LeBron James and stud of the night. Very happy for him. Guys, I'm out of here. TikTok, YouTube, if you guys enjoyed today's stream, be sure to leave the TikTok and YouTube and come through to the Twitch stream. We'd love to have y'all in here. That's Jay-Z Uncut on Twitch. The link is in my bio. It's a much better viewing experience here, and we got a great community in here that hangs out. That's Jay-Z Uncut on Twitch. Link in my bio. Twitch chat, don't go anywhere. Podcast listeners, be sure to leave a 5-star rating and review. TikTok, YouTube, I'm out, man. If you want more stream, come to the Twitch stream. That's Jay-Z Uncut on Twitch. Link in my bio. All right. I appreciate everybody for watching. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm just depressed. I gotta go. Yeah, you guys literally watched a man's heart shatter in real time. So that was an experience. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, have a beautiful day. I got nothing left to say, y'all, except for thank you for being here. Thank you for being you. And as always, guys, thank you for watching / listening. And I'll probably see y'all tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. Eastern discussing why Karis LeVert has ruined my life. Have a beautiful day, everybody.